Shalom, giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Kakadash, and double honors unto the elder apostles, elder bishops, and brothers at Great Millstone. Salutations to the elect and the men that are teaching the likewise doctrine. This is your brother Rabbi Yamya here to share another quick lesson update on what's going on over there in West Asia, right? In the Strait of Hormuz. And things are moving so quickly that, you miss a day, you miss a lot. So much updates that is happening that news that is a couple hours old or about 1 day old is is changing quickly because something is always happening. But I'm gonna update you real quick on what's going on over there and the pride of these Edomites that are trying to keep the Strait of Hormuz open, even though Iran has closed it, right? Now, we don't have a horse in this game. We don't back Iran or we don't back Babylon, right? Both of these nations are Edomite nations, and we are only concerned for Israel, right? Which is more people than it's a place, until Yahweh Hashem Yahushai come and restores us into our own land. So He is who we are rooting for, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, to come and deliver us in these last days. None of these other nations is going to deliver us from our current captivity. Now, I don't know what I'm going to title this lesson yet. I'm going to have to figure it out at the end. I'm just updating on what's going on. So, Lord willing, this lesson be edifying unto you, right? So, from the Reuters article, it says Trump urges other nations to help secure shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, right? Because right now at the moment, they have closed it down and they have put things in place to where anyone that wants to buy oil in that region, they have to do the trading in the Chinese yuan, right? The Chinese currency and not the petrodollar. So if they pull these things through, expect not only your fuel prices to go up, but your utilities and overall goods and services, right, that they deal with on a day-to-day basis. All right. So when we see these things, right, as taught to us by the elder apostles, elder bishops at Great Millstone, and taught to them by their elders, we are compelled to bring it out, right? And I'll just start with that portion of scripture in the book of Amos, the 3rd chapter, and around the 8th verse. It says, "The lion hath roared, who will not fear? The Lord Yahweh our power hath spoken, and who can prophesy?" Right, so we are compelled to speak on these events. Same as if you see a lion, you're gonna take caution, right? You're gonna hide yourself or you remove yourself from its sight, right? And when the Most High speak on these events, we are, through these prophecies, we are compelled to tell you about it, right? Starting with our elder apostles and elder bishops at Great Millstone. It says, U.S. President Donald Trump on Saturday called on nations to send warships to keep the Strait of Hormuz open, right? Which is futile right now because they closed it and they have different bombers and attackers that they have already destroyed several ships that tried it, right? So they have attackers there to stop that process, right? To send warship to keep the Strait of Hormuz open for shipping as Iran forces continue their retaliation campaign amid U.S. and Israeli attacks on Iran. About a fifth of global oil and liquefied natural gas normally passes through the strait, a narrow passage of water between Iran and Oman, Tehran's ability to stop shipping through the channel could give it enormous leverage over the US and its allies. The countries of the world that receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passageway, and we will help a lot. Trump wrote in a Truth Social post. The US will also coordinate with those countries so that everything goes quickly and smoothly and well. So we have to see, how this pans out uh, when the stock market opens up in the morning, Monday, and the coming days. You know what I mean? If they really participate in this endeavor. Right? In an early post on Saturday, Trump predicted that many countries, especially those who are affected by Iran's attempted closure of the Hormuz Strait, will be sending warships in conjunction with the United States of America to keep the strait open and safe. Trump wrote that he hoped China, France, Japan, South Korea, Britain, and others would send ships to that area. So soon, many other more countries is going to be joining in, but more in a combative state, and quite a few of them is going to be turned against Babylon, aka America, in this war. And this is why it's good to pay attention to scriptures like Zephaniah, the 3rd chapter and the 8th verse. It says, and this is what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is doing right now. He's bringing these nations up so that he could pour out his indignation upon them, right, for what they have done to his nation of people, the Israelites. It says, therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord. Right, and this is why we're supposed to have faith and not take matters into our own hands until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, which you see right now, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon my indignation, right, his anger, even on my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy, right, because of what the atrocities and the abominations that they have done to his people, you Negroes, you Latinos, and you Native Indians. In the meantime, the United States will be bombing the hell out of the shoreline and continually shooting Iranian boats and ships out of the water, he wrote. The White House did not respond to a request for comment on whether any countries had agreed to send ships. Western nations have bolstered their military presence in the Eastern Mediterranean during the conflict in Iran, focusing on the security of Cyprus after an Iranian-made drone hit the British military base on the island on March 2nd. Britain is also exploring additional options for deployments in the Gulf after Iran stepped up attacks on vessels. Defense Minister John Haley said on Thursday. The government is talking to allies and partners about a range of options to ensure the security of shipping in the region, a Ministry of Defense spokesperson said on Saturday. The French Navy is deploying about a dozen naval vessels, including its aircraft carrier strike group, to the Mediterranean, Red Sea, and potentially the Strait of Hormuz as part of defensive support to allies threatened by the conflict. So like, continuing on, it says French has been consulting with European, Asian, and Gulf Arab states over the past week with a view to putting together a plan for warships eventually to escort tankers through the strait, French officials said. Trump said on Thursday the U.S. was willing to escort ships through the Strait of Hormuz to protect them from Iranian attack as the administration searches for ways to ease high oil prices fueled by the Israeli war on Iran. Like I said, this article is old because I didn't mention that Iran only wants the oil to be traded in the yuan, the Chinese currency, which would make it a petro yuan, right? So that adds another, how do you call it, another cog in the wheel. You understand? So not only do you have to worry about guiding these tankers through there, but the purchasing of oil, right, will have to be done in the yuan. So that's another hurdle, right? But earlier in the article, Trump said that, he would bomb the hell out of them. This goes into the pride of these Edomites, right? These Temanites, right? And lastly, I'll go to the book of Obadiah, the first chapter, and the 3rd verse. His pride is gonna destroy him, right? The Most High created this man crooked and with this pride, so he's gonna do these things without fail. He's gonna be a prideful individual without fail until Yahweh Shai comes. All right. This is Obadiah chapter 1 verse 3 says, "The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, though that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high." And this is what Esau like. His habitation is high as the eagle. That said in his heart, who shall bring me down, right? Because the Most High had given him the blessing of the sword through Isaac, that gave Esau the blessing of the sword and that of a cunning hunter. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, right, a fierce and high animal, a bird of the sky, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, said the Lord, right? So he's gathering these other nations, as I mentioned in Zephaniah, the 3rd chapter and 8th verse, for his indignation upon them. And Esau is going to be in the midst of that when Yahweh comes to destroy Babylon within an hour. So these nations are all being set up, right, for their destruction, right? Their pride had deceived them because they don't know the power which is pulling them in, compelling them to that region for destruction. So yeah, just wanted to update on what is going on over there at the moment. And as the hours go by, there's going to be some new stuff happening. Hopefully, Lord willing, could edify the body until then. So keep your eyes open on the region. Get your house in order. Continue to clean up your acne. And, pray, fast. Anything that is not pleasing unto the Most High, even things that you're not aware of, pray and ask Him. Like, look, Lord, wherever ways that you may have that is not pleasing, for help to correct it, and He has set you on the path to get all that straightened out. You understand? Because you don't want when He come with His wrath and indignation that you be judged, right? You want to be saved, Lord willing. So until the next time, shalom to you all.